Our trail today finds us at the Bonanza Creek Ranch with Imogene Hughes. Hello, my name's Leon Ham. I'm your host once again for Legacy Trails and Tales. This is one of the last remaining ranches that's a working ranch that also has 5 different complete sets for filming Western movies. Trail along with us as we listen to the tales of how this all came about. Well, Imogene, you've brought us over to the Bonanza Creek movie town. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about how this all happened.
Well, we had one set on the east side of the ranch, was the Lone Ranger set, and we tore that down because we had too many people that were going in after souvenirs. This one started in in '82. Silverado approached us, wanted to build a set, and Mr. Hughes brought him over here, and then we built the building and the barn and the other little cowboy house.
What was the first first structure that was built?
It was the big yellow building over there, which it's been a hotel, it's been everything, and but that was the last time it was used as a homestead was in Lonesome Dove, and that was Angelica Houston's house. We've had it remodeled. The people that built this town come back last year after 20 years and repainted it.
I see.
And filmed 2 more films here. So we're they do return.
Yeah.
But and then after that we used it for Lightning Jack. Oh, I don't know. That we've done probably 140 movies on this ranch since the late 50s.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
140.
Uh-huh.
Now, the very first one was what?
Well, actually, the first one was a John Wayne or Jimmy Stewart or some of
Way
those.
back then.
Oh, way back.
Imogene, the movie Silverado, who were the actors in that movie?
Kevin Costner, Scott Glenn, Kevin Kline, and Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Kevin Costner was always outside of our door because my husband and I was living in one of the bunkhouses. He was always out there twirling his guns to get really good, by the time they started to shoot. And but anyhow, so those were the characters in it, And if you see the movie, there was one time there was a snow, and they come into the house and the producers and said, "We can't shoot today because of the snow." And my husband said, "Oh, get out there. That'll look good in your picture." And they did.
Yeah, they did.
And when you see them going into the town of over at Galisteo was the old Silverado town. We were the homestead. Well, when you see them going in there, they had all this snow, or they had some snow, not much,
Yeah.
But they thought a little bit was a lot.
Well, if I ever see that movie again, I'll look for that.
You do.
Some of our viewers will remember that.
Yeah.
Well, this town is so interesting, and there's so much to it here. It has progressed over a period of how many years then?
Well, it was 84 when they did that, and we're doing 1, 2, and 3 at a time.
Sometimes 3 at a time.
In the good years,
these
yes.
Locations, yeah.
Business been a little slow last year, but it'll come around again.
You furnish just about every prop they need here, and we talked a little bit about the cattle and what happened with the first bunch of cattle that were brought in.
Well, when we filmed Silverado, they shipped in cattle from the Oklahoma City finals, brought them in big trucks. And when they got here, they'd worked them to death. They hadn't fed them, they hadn't drank or anything. They unloaded them over here, and we lost about 12 or 13 head of them. And that's when Mr. Hughes said to me, "We're not doing this again, Imogene. We're going to get our own cattle." And that's when we got our own cattle.
And you've had them ever since?
Ever since.
Well, that's great.
We've had them ever since.
Okay, Imogene. So you're telling me this is the most used building on the town, really?
Sure. Every old West town had a saloon. That was the main building.
Yeah, that's right. What about the bar? That's a wonderful piece of furniture, I guess.
When we did Lightning Jack, they brought in a chandelier from San Francisco. Well, it didn't look good with my old rustic bar. So they commissioned a man, his name was Novak in Albuquerque, and he built the bar. Supposedly it cost about $10,000, and they were going to take it with them when they left. when they left, the bar's still here, and they said Mr. Hughes wouldn't let them take it. So.
I'm Gene. There was a movie by the name of O.B. Taggart. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't recall all of that, but tell me about that. Did they lease this facility?
O.B. Taggart was written by Mickey Rooney. Mickey Rooney was O.B. Taggart in the movie. He was an old mountain man in the movie. He had 3 sons. There was Ned Beatty, there was Randy Travis, and there was Gatlin, Larry Gatlin. Those were his 3 sons. It was a hilarious movie, yes. And they filmed all of it right here. But there was also some other people in that, like Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson had been in 367 movies, he told me. But one day it was real strange. He was filming in one of the buildings over here, and there was a collage of people around, Mr. Hughes and I, and he stepped out of the building after he finished filming, and there must have been 20 people there. And he looked over at my husband, and he looked at him, and he stuck his hand out. He said, "Glenn Hughes, how are you?" Had not seen him for 20 years. And Larry Gatlin, I loved him because we were always talking religion. He was a godly man when he was here, and he made everybody know it too.
He's ready to share the gospel.
Yes.
The history of not only ranching, you running cattle here on this ranch, and one question is, did you ever imagine when you were a young person that you might be in this position in life?
No, I never did. I had a business in Colorado. I was raised in Colorado, and it was a totally different business than this one. Come down here, and then Mr. Hughes passed away, so I've had a career for 12, 13 years. I said to one of my producers one day, I said, "Do you think I have time in my life for another career?"
This might be the last one.
He didn't answer.
Yeah.
You know? But no, but I think the Lord, I really do think the Lord put me in a place. This is such a beautiful place. And I think he put me here to help other people. I really do. I help more people than I collect from, believe me. And I have helped probably all the students that have got out of the film school up here. I just try to work them in. And someday they'll come back and they'll have made it, you know. I'm also a member of National Geographic. And what we do there is we work with all the high schools here in Santa Fe and the surrounding areas. Centennial recognized us last year. Now we have the whole state. We can go to the whole state, and we work with a lot of the tribes and the Native Americans. They're people, the indigenous people, that wouldn't have an opportunity if it wasn't somebody like us to help them. And so we do that, and we're very diligent about that, and we're just very, it's so rewarding.
And that's introducing them to this industry of filmmaking.
It is. We have our own mentors that come out and help them film. We have our own equipment. We're building a good supply of equipment now. But the time they get through with all that, they know whether they like it or not, and will continue to do so. And so many of them have. You
have certainly allowed us to see another view of what the West presents to the world. Mm-hmm. And as we have learned, the European countries love the stories of the West. I'm Gene Hughes, all the way from Oklahoma to New Mexico, Bonanza Creek Ranch, Western Town. Many people come through these grounds, many actors, directors, all the extras. You have an influential position here. And so we are so grateful for you allowing us to come and be a part of this, showing the nation what you've done, your life. Thank you so much for letting us come.
Mm-hmm. Glad to have you, and God bless you.
From Bonanza Creek Ranch, thanks for watching Legacy Trails and Tales. So long for now.